How about a cup of dirt? Now let me be honest, this recipe really isn't that much nostalgic for me. I don't remember having this too often as a kid. In fact, this might be one of my very first times making it myself. And this stuff is like, well, I would say crack, but I've never done crack. So this stuff is like hanging out with your friends on a Friday night. You just ordered pizza and you got a bunch of new video games to play. Yeah, it's that good. So this stuff is pretty easy and simple to make. We're gonna start with our pudding. I got two 3.4 ounces of instant French vanilla pudding. We're gonna break out a large bowl and empty your 2 packs of pudding right to the bowl. And we're not going to follow the box directions of adding 2 cups of milk per one box, which would be 4 cups. Instead, we're only going to add 3 cups of milk. Then give this a good stir for about 2 minutes. And don't worry if it seems too loose, everything will start to thicken as it sits. And speaking of sit, we're going to put this to the side for a few minutes while it thickens. Grab a stand mixer bowl and we're going to add 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and 1/4 cup, which is about a half a stick of softened salted butter. And to that, we're going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar. Bring that over to your stand mixer with the paddle attachment. We're going to beat this on medium speed for about 3 minutes. Stop, scrape down the sides of the bowl, beat it for another 2 minutes. After that, it should be nice and smooth. And by now, your pudding should be nice and thicky. Go ahead and give that a little pre-stir. Add about half of your cream cheese and butter mixture, then go ahead and mix that in. Add the other half of your cream cheese mix, and then mix that in until everything is nice and smooth. Then we're going to take 1 8-ounce package of Cool Whip, and if yours was frozen like mine was, just make sure it is completely thawed. Add the entire container to your pudding mixture. Then we're going to gently fold this in until all of that whipped cream, Cool Whip, whatever you want to call it, is incorporated into your pudding mixture. Once everything is mixed in and smooth, operator, your filling is done. We still got a couple of things left to do, but right now we're going to make our dirt, which is basically just going to be some chopped Oreos. You're going to need 1 14-ounce package of Oreos, but if you're like me and you got the big boy box, that's going to be about 3 of these sleeves here. And I got my food processor, but of course a bag and a rolling pin will also do the trick. And while we're on the topic of food processors, if you like what you see so far, hit me with a like, thumbs up, and if you're new around here, please consider subscribing. Also, as usual, the recipe, ingredients, descriptions, and amounts will be in the description below. I said description twice for some reason, but whatever, back to the Oreos. Fit as many as you can into your food processor or your Ziploc bag if that's what you're using. Close the lid, obviously. Now, I don't want these crumbs as fine as if we were, say, making a cheesecake, where there would be something like a sand mixture, but I want them sort of, chunky, kind of like gravel. The hell am I talking about? Gravel and sand. But I guess, we're making dirt, so I guess it fits into the subject matter. Pour your Oreo gravel mixture into a bowl, and now we're going to start assembling our dirt cups. Now you can use whatever type of cups you want. I got these cups from the dollar store. I also seen some people get really creative and they do it in like little mini buckets. I also got some gummy worms, and yes, they're open and like half empty because I've been snacking on them for about a month. I also got these mini sour gummy worms for a little bit of contrast in flavor and color. I also got some candy Bones and Tombstones, mini eyeballs, skulls, you name it. And to make this even more gross, I got some gummy eyeballs. I also got some piping bags just to make it a little bit easier to get that pudding into the cups, which I'm going to use with my wide tip. Fill up said piping bag with some of my pudding mixture, and then we are good to go. I'm going to do about 9 cups at a time, and just to let you know, this recipe with this size cups made about 18 of these size cups. So just keep that in mind when making this recipe. Depending on the size of your cups will determine the amount that you make. So I'm going to scoop in some of my Oreo crumbs into the bottom of each cup. If I had to estimate, I would say this is probably about 2 tablespoons of the Oreo mixture. And again too, the amount of everything will probably differ depending on the size of the containers or cups that you use. If you want to put more crumbs on the top or on the bottom, just, buy extra Oreos and make extra crumbs. Once all of the bottom of our cups are filled with our Oreo crumbs, I'm going to take these here candy skulls, bones, and eyeballs, and I'm going to place them into the bottom of each cup on top of those Oreo crumbs so you can sort of, dig them up later. That's my evil laugh. If you ever hear that, run. So now we're just going to go around to each one of our cups and start filling it with our pudding mixture. And you want a nice thick amount here, almost to the top of each cup. Once all of our pudding cups are full, we're going to go around with our big worms, hopefully none of the ones that you owe money to. And let me know in the comments if you know what movie that's a reference to. And I'm putting the worms now so that we can sort of go around with our dirt, our Oreo dirt, and sort of bury them at least halfway with our Oreo dirt. And once all of our cups are topped with our dirt, it's time to decorate, go creative and crazy here. I got some chocolate and candy tombstones that I'm going to do for a couple of them. The bigger tombstones, the chocolate ones, I actually made. I'll show that in an upcoming video for my graveyard brownies. And the smaller candy tombstones, those actually came in a pack of Halloween sprinkles. Then I'm going to go around and place a different color eyeball into each cup. And these eyeballs are really good. I think I got these at the dollar store. If you can find the same one, the same brand, these are actually pretty good. They have nice flavor and everything. Next, I'm breaking out the mini sour gummy worms, which, like I said, should give this a nice contrast and flavor because they're sour. And these are also neon, so they're a little brighter than the big gummy worms, which I think will give it a nice contrast in color too. And lastly but not least, I got some of these candy mini bone sprinkles. Mini candy bones or mini bone sprinkles, whatever you want to call them. And I'm gonna let them do what sprinkles do best. I'm going to sprinkle them randomly over the top of all these cups. And that's it. Our cup of dirts are done. Looking spooky, terrifying, gross. But let me tell you, these things are so good. It is so delicious. Even the pudding, like that is so good. Like even if you just want to make that, like if you're just looking to like up your pudding game or make the pudding, like instant pudding, even better, just follow those steps for the pudding. It is so good. And trust me, you might be tempted to eat these right away, but I'm promising you, the longer they sit, the better they are. All right, y'all, that's it for this video. That's it for me in this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.